Yahweh were to stand up and give a full revelation of himself to this world, could they handle it? A greater question is, would his own people be able to handle it? Well, the real question is not if, but when. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah. Day number 5 of the Torah portion, Beha Elatecha, when you raise up. Let's go to Numbers or Bamidbar, chapter number 10, and read verses number 35 and 36. And it came to be whenever the ark set out that Moshe said, "Rise up, O Yahweh, and let your enemies be scattered, and let those who hate you flee from before you." And when it rested, he said, "Return, O Israel," or "Return, O Yahweh, to the countless thousands of Israel." Many of you are among those that 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. you turn toward Jerusalem in the east and you quote or sing the Shema. I do that. I know many others do. And when doing that, I oftentimes will add to that from the prayer that Yeshua taught us. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth, O Yah, even as it is in heaven. And give to us this day, that is, grant to us the power to see your kingdom come in its reality this day. And then I quote these two verses. Arise, O Yah, and let your enemies be scattered. Let those who hate you flee from before you. Return, O Yah, to the countless thousands of Am Israel. What am I quoting? It's about the kingdom. It's about the coming of the kingdom in its fullest reality. Again, the question is, can we handle it? In the setting of this verse, Israel is about to turn from the mountain and make their way into the Midbar, the wilderness, the Midbar there, and continue their journey to their inheritance. When we begin reading with chapter number 11, verse 1 and following, whatever wagon they're pulling, it seems like the wheels fall off. There is one disastrous decision or action or heart or mindset revealed, one after the other. And it all seems to be predicated upon these two verses. What is going on here? Well, let's look at what the verses say to us. It says, "Arise, Yahweh." One level of understanding here. We're not, Yah is not needing to rise up off of his throne. He rules from his throne. Why does Yah need to stand up? He doesn't. Yeshua said, "I and the Father are echad." We're one. If you've seen the Father, seen me, you've seen the Father. Could the verse not be alluding to then that there is a cry for the rising up, the standing up of Yeshua that is in his resurrection? When we cry out, "Arise, O Yah," we're crying out, in effect, for the power of the resurrection of Yeshua to be made manifest in the earth through his people. If you think about what's being said here, it's that his enemies then be scattered, and that those who hate him will flee from before him or even before us. When we cry out for the resurrection power of Yeshua to be made manifest, we are declaring that his resurrection defeated our adversaries. If we look over in the book of Colossians, chapter number 2, and verse number 15, having stripped the principalities and the authorities, he made a public display of them, having prevailed over them in it. It is by his death and his resurrection. And so we understand then that Yah is speaking to us about victory, power, and victory. Now, if we go back to the Akedah, to the offering of Yitzhak upon the altar, Yah said, because that it was done, because he said, "I know now that you will not withhold your own son from me," He says, I will certainly bless you, and I will certainly increase your seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand is on the seashore. And this is in Bereshit of Genesis 22 and verse 17. He says in the last line, and let your seed possess the gate of their enemies. The gates is a place of authority. It's a place of jurisprudence. It's a place of legality. It's a place where matters are settled. And Yah is saying to Abraham, because of what you have just done in the offering of your son, your seed, Messiah, will possess the gate of his enemies. Yeshua, in his resurrection, took authority. In Revelations, he says, I have the keys. He took the authority of Hasatan and the kingdom of darkness, whatever that might have been, and he now possesses that. He said to Kepha and to those that were following with him, upon this truth that I am Ben Elohim, the son of Elohim, I will build my assembly, and the gates, the authorities, the powers of hell will not prevail against it. Powerful stuff. So we're declaring the resurrection and the power of Yeshua is possessing the enemy's gates. And then he says, return Yahweh to the myriads of Israel. Rabbinical commentator Nachama Lebowitz says, another way of translating that is that the myriads of Israel be returned to their place. We're talking about the restoration of all things then. The word return, she says, is used here in the sense of bring back. As in Yahweh, your Elohim shall turn back your captivity, which is found in the book of Deuteronomy, or Devarim, chapter 30 and verse 3. So the cry then is to ask for Yeshua to return. You risen, come possess the gates of your adversary, defeat the powers of darkness, return to us, O Yeshua, and gather us again and restore us back home to the land, to the inheritance, and to the nation that you have originally designed and desired for us. What we're asking then is that Yah's reign and that his kingdom in Yeshua be established in the earth. Can the world handle it? The world's going to fight against it. This is what the spirit of Antichrist or anti-Messiah is all about. It is the resistance to this kingdom. Currently, it is called, and it's been called many things over the years, the New World Order, etc., the Great Society. Now it's being called the Great Reset. It is an agenda of man. Who cares who these people are? The elite of the earth have their plan, their system, their designs. They always have, and they always will. They're planning the Great Reset. We're wanting to remake the earth in our own image. We want to do things our way. And Yah just simply says it's not going to prevail. It's not going to happen. Because I'm going to arise, and you who are my enemies, you're going to flee from before me, and you're going to be scattered, even as I scattered them at the Tower of Babel. And I'm going to return in my son Yeshua, and I'm going to gather my elect from the four corners of the earth. I'm going to bring them home. I'm going to build my kingdom. The world can't handle it. The question is, are we going to handle it? I say we must, and we must ask for it. Couple things here. Number one, I want to wish a very blessed, shalom-filled, restful Shabbat for you and all who belong with you. May the light and presence of Yeshua completely fill you and your home. And then to announce to you that this coming week, there will not be a 10-minute Torah recorded. I'm going to take some time with my beautiful wife, Laura, and we're going to go on a little short vacation for some R&R, some very much needed time together. I pray you had me excused, and we'll see you the following week. So until the following week, shalom.